The first challenge when we're talking about these systems and the claims is probably the easiest one, the system identification. So obviously before you can evaluate anything, you need to know what you're looking at. And professional systems don't always announce themselves. So one of the first things to ask for is elevations or wiring diagrams. And integrators almost always have them. They might even be stored in that rack someplace, and it's going to tell you just how complex that system really is. Next, we're going to look for and request formal installation invoices. And these don't just list the hardware, they're also potentially going to include programming hours or system design fees, which are often overlooked when we're talking about a claim. Finally, we want to know who the integrator or the platform of this system is, and knowing whether you're dealing with Control4 or Crestron or Savant, it gives you access or gives you an idea where you need to go to request specific specifications, capabilities, and maybe valuation for true replacement value. Now, this is where a lot of the claim valuation kind of goes sideways, and that's calculating or trying to estimate the soft costs. Professional systems aren't just hardware swaps. Now, when a piece of equipment is replaced, that dealer has to reprogram every automation, every scene, and all the integration kind of from the ground up. And on average, the programming and the configuration takes up about 40% of the total system cost. And that's the part that usually gets missed. And now certified integrators, they typically bill around $150 or more an hour. And these complex systems, they can require dozens of hours just to get back to pre-loss condition. And that's why having a partner with partnering with experts is actually going to matter. They can help account for the programming labor, the configuration time, and the true replacement costs so that claims aren't undervalued or potentially disputed down the road. And that's the answer to our final poll question. It is the programming labor, the time that often gets overlooked in these claims. Now, when we talk about replacing a professional system, there are really kind of three buckets that have to get accounted for. The first is probably the most obvious. It's going to be the hardware, the central processors, the amplifiers, touch panels, and specialty modules. And this is the part that everybody kind of expects. The next, probably just kind of as obvious, is the installation service. Now, this includes the rack equipment, the terminating and testing of cables, the configuration of the network, and then the final commissioning of that system when it's all back together. And this is not a plug and play thing, okay? This is actual skilled labor. And finally, the programming side of things, the programming labor and time. So the system design, the device integration, the custom interfaces, and the scene programming all has to be rebuilt to return that home to pre-loss condition. And missing any one of these three is how professional claims kind of get undervalued. Now, one major advantage of a professional system might be data verification. Okay, they create system logs that tell us exactly what happened and when. Now, these logs can show device failures, communication issues, and whether automated response is triggered before or after a loss event. And that removes the guesswork to kind of help you confirm, maybe some of the causes here. Think of it kind of like a blue screen crash report after your computer crashes out. Now, to get them, you typically need to work with your expert or go to the dealer or integrator and request those logs for the date of loss ranges. And you'll ask them to kind of interpret some of that data if it's not, kind of cut and dry or laid out for you. Now, when used correctly, these system logs either support the claim narrative or maybe reveal some gaps that need to be closely reviewed. The fourth challenge is going to be the expert gap. Now, these systems, they are complex if you can't guess it by now, and most adjusters aren't going to be expected to be home automation specialists. So first, partner with an expert that's going to help you relieve kind of some of the pressure around a claim like this. You can delegate the technical deep dive and stay focused on managing the rest of the claim. Second, you're going to get a detailed impartial report, and these clearly document what's damaged, what isn't, and why, which makes settlements a little bit more efficient for you and more defensible. And then third, the experts provide accurate cost evaluations. They understand the real-world labor, material, and programming costs, and they can kind of help you vet these expensive contractor quotes so you're paying for what's needed, what's owed, and not what's just assumed.